Hello, now I'm going to explain a little bit about your reliability, paragraph number 1. Now, reliability is actually more or less quite similar to your inference. More or less, they will give you the statement, they'll give you the topic to look for, but in case they don't, you have to look for it yourself. Anyway, the format for the first paragraph is more or less the same, which is your point, evidence, and explanation once again. Now, for your point, right, you have the ATQ again. Please ATQ follow the question word. Follow the word that they use, alright? There's a variation of words they can use, but all are about talking about reliability question. So they can use reliability, they can use proof, or they can use belief. Okay, whatever it is, you have to follow the word that they use. After that, you need to write reliability after you have done the word. So you must write belief and then reliable, proof, reliable, or just reliable, right? For example, source A proves that globalization is beneficial as it is reliable. So put the reliable behind after you've done with the question word. Next thing is to follow the question topic, alright? So follow the statement where possible. If they already give you a statement, just copy the statement exactly and write down it is reliable. Okay, that is the easiest and the safest way to do the question. Okay, for your points, when you write your point, right, again, do not leave, follow the basic inference expectations. Same thing again, which is clear in your own words and yeah, related to the topic, related to the issue. Next, evidence, same thing again, make sure it's relevant, make sure it's quoted, and explanation, same thing again, make sure it's in your own words, make sure it's clear, and make sure you have extended successfully. How to make sure your explanation is well extended? Read the evidence and ask yourself the question, so what, then what, and what is the implication? How does this evidence actually link back to the point that I made? So clearly write down the explanation to link it back. The link must be stronger. Again, the link back to your point must be strong. Bear in mind these things again, which is very similar to your inference. Again, do not repeat the point as your explanation. Do not repeat evidence as your explanation. Do not use any of the words inside the evidence as your explanation, because your explanation has to be in your own words and it has to extend upon the evidence to help explain back your point. So that is for your first paragraph, right? For your second paragraph, very similar to comparison, you will make your point is the same as the first paragraph. The best and safest way to do reliability is to make sure that your second paragraph is talking about reliable because it is supported by another source. Of course, feel free to do unreliable if you find that the sources for unreliable are easier. But a general rule of thumb is that the best way to do it is just to match it together with the previous source. Because then your point is exactly the same. That's why it's reliable, right? Because your points are the same. So for example, your paragraph point here is source A is reliable because it's evidence in telling me. This is your point, right? Globalization is beneficial to SG. Now, when I write my second paragraph, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Repeat again. Repeat the question. Source A is reliable because the question is asking about source A. So repeat the thing. Source A is reliable. In telling me, repeat the point. Right? This is the same point as the first paragraph. Repeat again. Globalization is beneficial. Then you write the reason for the reliability, which is the support from another source, right? As it is supported by source B. Now I don't need to write the same point again because it's exactly the same. So just repeat one more time. Source A is reliable. Answer the question one more time in your second paragraph. In telling me that globalization is beneficial, same point as your first paragraph. Then the reason for reliability as it is supported by source B. Alright, hence it is reliable. Hence it is reliable. If let's say the question word is proof, then you will write here source A proves, right? Proves that globalization is beneficial as it is supported by source B, and then thus making it reliable. That is if the question word is proof instead of reliable. After that, it's very straightforward. You just move on to the same thing again, evidence and explanation. Again, check back your basic inference criteria in your own words. Everything, make sure it's very nicely written down and it's very clear. All right. Bear in mind here, so both sources, both your paragraph evidences may be different, but they must all point towards the same point. Because it's reliable, right? Why is it reliable? Because there's the same point. So both your explanation must kind of link back to the same point that you made. This is what makes the source reliable. All right. So just to give you a little sample here, so how your first line will look like. Example, paragraph 1, you say source A proves. The word they use is proves. So answer the question. Proves that globalization is beneficial. A clear point, a clear topic, globalization, and it is beneficial. Then evidence, evidence here, explanation. Okay, follow the same criteria as your basic inference. Then you leave a line, please leave a line, and you go to paragraph 2. Repeat the thing again, repeat the question. Source A proves, repeat the point, globalization is beneficial. Then you state the reason. Why is it reliable? Because it's supported by source B, and then include the word reliable. Hence, it is reliable. So you're telling the marker you're clear in what you're writing for both paragraphs, and you're telling the marker you're clear on the match that you're making for both paragraphs. After that is B states, evidence, then explanation. Okay, once you're done with this, bear in mind you must write the conclusion down at the end. Alright, just repeat every single thing. Repeat your answering of the question and the reason why you believe it's reliable. Thus, as B supports A is reliable and hence proves that globalization is beneficial. Alright, so start with the reason first. As B supports A, then you write, thus A is reliable, and because A is reliable, it helps me to answer the question, and yes, indeed, it does prove my point here, which is the main point I'm checking for both sources, that globalization is indeed beneficial. Alright, so there are the key concerns and the key things you need to know for your reliability.